going through her mother's estate, she finds an old stamp collection that belonged to a family member and takes it in to have it expertised. Could you?
Could I what? I'm working here. Do I know you?
This guy in the store.
What store?
I was in there buying something else. It was also a stamp store, and
A stamp store?
yes, it was for stamps and things like comic books and Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Is that what you were buying? Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
No, I was buying a comic book.
Ah.
I think audiences are going to be surprised by how much tension is built and how gripping a story that centers around stamps is going to be for them.
So it's worth a lot of money then, this Mauritian stamp.
Both of them, the 1 penny and the 2 penny post office together. They're considered the crown jewel of philately. It's quite a spectacular error.
Error?
Well, that's what makes them so valuable. The errors are what make it... Well, you don't know anything about stamps, do you?
Make me an offer.
You want me to make you an offer?
Is that a problem?
I own them. I don't have to offer you anything.
Well, tell me what you want for them.
Why don't you tell me what you're willing to pay, and I'll tell you if that's enough?
Why don't you tell me what you think they're worth, and I'll tell you if I'll pay that.
Look, I know you don't think I know anything.
Yeah, actually, I do think that. For a second there, I thought you maybe knew a few things, but I don't think that anymore.
I already got an offer on these stamps. I know what they're worth.
Then why don't you tell me what it is?
Now, I play Sterling, who is an international sort of wheeler-dealer con man. Mixed in with this is his absolute passion for stamps. He's a dyed-in-the-wool philatelist, and in this piece he has his sights set on 2 particular stamps.
You better not be messing with me. Is it real?
Yeah, they're real.
How'd you end up with
My
it?
mom died. They were in her stuff.
And?
And what?
Don't use that tone with me. This checks out. I'm going to be giving you a lot of money. I got a right to ask questions.
And then we took a field trip to the Rocky Mountain
Philatelics.
Library, and I found myself even more enthralled in just the world of stamps. I mean, they're beautiful, and it's art on these little slips of paper, and I think I'm dangerously close to becoming a stamp collector, and so I'll have to be very careful.
What I really loved was each of the volunteers at the library have their own story about the particular stamp that got them really excited and passionate about philately or stamp collecting, and each of them is kind of touching in its own way and unique, and all the different ways in. I really liked that.
And I knew as a kid where I was growing up, I was never going to see the world. I was never going to see the world. Real simple, you know. Didn't have the money. I didn't have those abilities to travel all those places, but I could see the world in stamps, okay? And that's where I really first started with stamps.
They were a bunch of very different guys from all sorts of backgrounds, but their shared passion for stamps and stamp collecting, all in their own little worlds of what their specialties are. They shared the common love for stamps as a whole, which was just a joy to watch.
Years old. I lived in the Chicago area, so there was all kinds of stamp shops, storefront stamp shops at the time downtown in the Loop area and the like. And I remember as a kid passing a store one time, and they had a cigar box or shoe box tipped over with Cape of Good Hope triangles. Very nice items. And there was a sign there, you pick them, $1 each. And I thought, boy, I wanted to go in there and get some, and my parents said it's too much money, and they dragged me along, and so I started collecting stamps after that.
How they were falling over each other, falling over themselves, trying to tell us all the information about stamps, and I mean practically getting into little squabbles and little fights because they were so jazzed that we were so into listening to what they had to say about their love of stamps, which was cool.
And when I was in 5th grade, and the first time I went in there, they had on one of the support posts the whole series of presidential stamps. And I just fell in love with it.
Stamps through. I went to one dealer and he says, Roger, I don't have any Lundy, and I know that's what you're looking for. I'll save you time. I said, well, let me just look anyway. I got 2/3 through a large bin of his, and I came across a manila envelope from the war years that had 2 sensor cachets on it. And I said, this is exactly the type of envelope this guy used for Lundy Bureau stamps. And I closed my eyes and I said, when I turn you over, I want to see a Lundy stamp on it with it. Turned it over and there it was. $10.
Oh,
And I couldn't get the money out of my wallet.
It sort of blew me away that I have lived in the Denver metro area nearly my entire life, and until I was cast in this show, I did not know that we had the second largest philatelic library in the United States right here in Denver. Just amazing.
Who knew?
Who knew?
I like stamps.
I like stamps.